Guys, we have a brand new Hall of Heroes. The Hall of Heroes for May 2021 is none other than NISHA, the Fire Dryad. I know most of you are sitting there, you're like, pinch me, because I feel like I'm dreaming. Why would we ever have such an amazing Hall of Heroes? Well, guys, you're not dreaming. It truly is. I can't even say that with a straight face. It truly is NISHA, the Fire Dryad. Let's take a, this is going to be over the weekend. It's always over the weekend. Let's take a quick look. Oh my god, Vagel, 6-starred her. We 6-starred her a while ago, like 2 years ago. I don't know, whenever she came out, we were doing, whenever the quest for wings was on Asia's server is when we 6-starred her. We were playing around with her. She hasn't gotten any better. Let's take a quick recap of how she is, what she does, how she's ruined, whatever. Skill 1 attacks enemy, absorbs attack bar by 15%, 50% chance. It's, you know, it's just skill 1, not really anything crazy. Honeybee Friends is actually a cool skill in general. Honeybees will transfer all harmful effects granted on the allies to target enemy. If the allies don't have any harmful effects, all allies recover their HP by 20%. You could potentially, I mean, you usually build her, well, you build her with good accuracy, but you also build her for Honeybee Friends. She's kind of like a cleanser, right? You usually build cleansers with good resistance. She's got this amazing Guild War resistance, not even resistance for everywhere, a Guild War specific resistance leader skill. Very exciting. I mean, the Honeybee Friends is like the coolest part about her. I hate to say that, but it honestly is. Then we have the Flower Fog. It's an AoE, it's a skill 3, reusable in 5 turns, goes down 1 turn when it's completely maxed. We do not have her completely maxed. Attacks all enemies to shorten the time of beneficial effects granted on them by 1 turn. It doesn't AoE strip. It's not an AoE strip. It's a shortening of beneficial effects by 1 turn each. If the enemy does not have any beneficial effects, prevents the enemy from gaining beneficial effects for 2 turns. So a 2-turn block beneficial effect. I know you're also thinking, like, you know what, that could be good for Steel Fortress. However, there's also just better units for Steel Fortress, like for example the Fire Lizard Man, which they gave us already. The Dark Vampire, the Dark Vampire Lord, which has a attack power buff and then a block beneficial effects with skill 2. And he provides a little bit more than just the block beneficial effects, but I mean, like, just based on Steel Fortress alone, like, just build, like, we're Ling Ling, too. Ling Ling's a fusion unit. Fire Lizard Man is a 3-star, super easy to scale both of those up, especially since we just had the Sacred Dungeon. So, strip of 1 turn, not even strip, shorten beneficial effects 1 turn each. That's fine if it's will runes, right? But it's really not that much. If they don't, it prevents them from gaining beneficial effects. This could be okay for, like, against the Light Lich, and we tried it against, like, Light Liches and things like that. It's just dreadful. It just doesn't really do, honestly, that much. I would recommend against building it. There's AoE strippers that do just a little bit more, to be honest. This is a more fun stripper. This is a better stripper. It's got block beneficial effects too. I mean, it's a nat 5. This one has got multi-hits, volley of arrows. This is actually not that bad with artifacts that do additional damage, right? Because it's so many hits, right? Multi-attack, actually. So that one's not bad. And it has, you know, it's got many chances to actually activate. So those ones compared to this one, just like by testing it out, by actually using it, it pales in comparison to the other things, to be honest. So let's go over. It's just, there's just so much is better than her, right? Just like pick anything that removes beneficial effects on the enemies. Anything's better. Well, maybe not. Okay, not this girl. Look at this. She's better too, right? So there's so much. She strips and stuns. There is this one. She's got the strip, but she also does. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a buff. I totally forgot that she actually had that. I'm like, what is this? That was wacky. That was wacky to remember that she got buffed at some point. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of things that remove. Not everyone's necessarily an AoE, but just, I mean, like, at the very least, like the water, if you're looking for an AoE stripper, the homunculus, like Dark Homunculus is one. The fire fairy, which we just showed, is actually effectively a better one than this girl is. But anyway, Oh, we were going to take a look at the other ones of her to see if we need to skill them up, because right now, super, super hot is the Melia, the Wind Dryad, right? A lot of people are excited for her for Giants. Actually, yeah, for Giants B12, you don't actually need her to be skilled up. Skilling her up is just makes her better, but you don't actually necessarily need her to be skilled up for Giants B12. I think there was an argument to be made that one of these... Why is it doing that? No, I guess it's not doing that anymore. Argument to be made that, like, one of these is not good to be, if I recall correctly, kind of vaguely remember something about not being good to skill this up for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this is not bad to have, you know, this skill up for, or something like that, right? But the extra harmful effect rate is not bad. But it's not harmful, it's not continuous damage. It's just the harmful effect rate of the attack bar reduction and stuff. So this one's not bad. This one's, she's got the honeybee friends, which we already talked about. That's pretty nice. This Tree of Loss, this is an Oblivion. This is a defense break for 3 turns and puts the target in Oblivion state for 3 turns. Passive skills aren't, well, we already know passive skills aren't activated in Oblivion state, but this is actually where I would use her, is the Guild Wars, right? So I actually have her built on the Europe server account. She's useful every once in a while. 3-turn defense break and Oblivion is pretty strong, and we got some heals here too. Not anything too crazy, but yeah, that's not a bad one. You don't need to skill this up. I know most people are probably going to get all of her and then skill up their Melias for Giants B12. There's nothing wrong with that. Phaleria is actually pretty good. Just in general, Phaleria is pretty good. You could use her in RTA as a turn 2, give her good resistance, give her will runes and good resistance. That's generally the build for her, and make her move before the rest of your team. She is good against, again, she's got to have good resistance though, because she's got to resist all the strips and the CCs and everything. But she's generally good against some aggressive control teams. This way they do the CCs on you and they do all the debuffs, and then you come in and then you do the honeybee friends. You got good resistance, so you don't actually take those. You do the honeybee friends and you swap them all onto one of the enemies. So this is actually, we had her built on the China server before I reset it, right? But we did some videos with her. She's actually pretty fun to use. She's a pretty decent unit, pretty decent support unit, and she's got the deep-rooted tree passive. So this is not a bad unit to build. Also, this one is kind of fun for aggressive control-style Guild War kind of things. I've seen some people use her in RTA. I really haven't seen too many people using her recently in RTA. This one, increase the enemy harmful effect duration by 1 turn and decrease the enemy beneficial effect duration by 1 turn. Then we have this one, Earth Friends. It's the same thing as the skill 2. It's the AoE control, like the same thing as this, but she doesn't do continuous damage, right? So she's got the AoE decrease attack speed and decrease attack gauge. I'm talking way too much, and for whatever reason, this thing is also glitching out. But she is good for aggressive Guild War, Guild Siege comps, and then she's also pretty good for like control RTA stuff, but again, I haven't seen her really too much lately for this. The thing is with these, that's not the direction that the wind ones are going to be in. Oh, they're not even 5-star. Yeah, they're so we have this. They're not even 6-star. But the thing is that the passive is why you want her, right? The passive is why you're building these Melias for Giants B12, and we're going to get the continuous damage regardless, right? So this is not the thing that you actually need to have skilled up. This is kind of nice to have this harmful effect rate in the cool time turn, just in case you're dying for whatever reason on the crystals, like with the crystals on the left and the right hand side, where they're getting a turn, then they're nuking your team. This will just give you a little bit more reliability there, harmful effect rate up and cool time turn, so she has it more often. If that is the issue that you guys are having with that, and if your team does not have enough sustain to like shield runes and things like that to actually withstand those blasts, then that might be an issue. So this Earth Friends might actually give you guys a better chance to, or a higher chance to clear Giants B12. But yeah, they don't actually need skill ups to do their continuous damage, and that's really the big reason that they're used in Giants. This is just going to give you more survivability, more chances to AoE control those waves that give you a hard time. But anyway, it's really, as far as, well, why do I want to call her Nadia? It's not Nadia. It's not. As far as NISHA is concerned, honestly, I wouldn't build her. We even tried her in like Steel Fortress. This is really not enough. You need more blocks than this, and this is an either or thing, right? So if she doesn't use this, then the enemy has the beneficial effects, and she's gonna. I mean, it's really just not enough. I would recommend the lizard man. Where's the lizard man? Wherever the lizard man is, I would recommend him, and I would recommend the link. Actually, we can just search for block beneficial. There's just so much better stuff. There's so much better stuff for block beneficial effects. Like I said, this guy's much better. This one is actually pretty fantastic as well, because she's got it on 2 different skills, right? So as far as block beneficial, like just don't bother using her. This guy's pretty good too. This girl I think is kind of underrated, but I'm not saying you should build her. I'm not saying just build him, 5-star him. He's so easy to skill up. Or do Ling Ling, because Ling Ling's fantastic. Ling Ling's actually, I think she's pretty fantastic for that too. But you know what? A lot of people also doing continuous damage for that team anyway, and they don't even bother with the block beneficial effects anyway to begin with. But yeah, that is NISHA, the Fire Dryad. Honestly, I think she needs a buff, but she's Hall of Heroes now, so she'll probably not get a buff anytime soon. But we don't know. I would say keep one, because she does need a buff. She should get a buff at some point. Who knows when. We will have another balance patch, because again, they said in the meeting that they had with the people from the Korean guild, they said that they were going to make sure that they consistently do, which they've been doing, consistent balance patches in between RTA seasons. So after RTA season is done, we'll see if she actually gets a buff, or whoever gets a buff, or what the situation is with it. The last round of buffs was pretty dreadful. The last balance patch was pretty nonsense, right? It's pretty sad. So I'm not expecting anything exciting out of the balance patch. But anyway, that's NISHA. Don't build her. Don't build her. You can skill up the Melia if you want, but those light and dark ones are pretty cool. If you have them, they're not bad. NISHA's, to be honest, she's the most garbage of all of the elements. I'm sorry to tell you that, but not a thing that you need to build now, right? Not an exciting thing that you're like, let me try to build this. No, just don't. Just don't. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm telling you from someone that's already 6-starred her and tried to use her on many occasions. Just don't. Just don't frustrate yourself with that. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you as always in the next one.